mean, you mean 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Dude, my brain thinks it's
by 3,
whatever it thinks.
Because morning if you're on, it's like 7 p.m.
Ridiculous. This is Owen from Real Social Dynamics. I'm in front of the Freedom Tower right now. And actually, I'll tell you a crazy story, okay? So I was just about to start recording a video blog here a second ago. You want to make her feel free. You want to make her feel good, right?
How you doing?
Everything good?
You can continue, man.
All right, dude. I mean, we've been trying to frame the shot for the past hour, you know? If I knew that this is a problem, I wouldn't waste that hour, waste my friend's time too. All right, dude, whatever. I mean, dude, I'm trying to make a charismatic, like funny, cool video here, you know? I gotta, you know, someone staring at me is a little odd, you know?
I'm not staring at you. I'm allowed to stand here.
I guess that's true. You're right. I mean, you're definitely right.
Stand here, I'm allowed to stand.
What happens to you when your adrenaline gets pumped up and people make little remarks at you that are really meaningless, actually, that really are completely harmless, but because you have this little low-level cortisol adrenaline response in your system, what winds up happening is you take it personally, okay? And sometimes when people take things personally, they get all crazy and do a lot of silly things, right? So let me give an example. Say that a fat girl is walking by and someone says, Ken Griffey Jr. is at bat. The fat girl, a lot of times she'll hear that and she'll be like, huh? Someone called me fat? What? Huh? Like that. And actually, her reticular activation system is causing her to misinterpret what's being said as a slight towards her, okay? You know, someone might say to me, you know, my hair's been thinning many years, someone might say to me, you know, oh, is that a Spalding basketball? And I'm like, what, Spalding, what, huh? Something like that, right? I can remember back when I was young, I was around 19, and I looked these really pretty girls in the eye. It's very rare that I would do something like that, since normally I used to cower away from very pretty girls. And the girl looked at me and she said, he's hot, to her friend. And immediately I actually thought I was being made fun of. Literally, that's actually what I thought. I thought I was being made fun of. So I looked away and I was like, whatever, you know, just like that. And I remember this other time I was actually wearing like this really interesting shirt, and someone even said, nice shirt. Like these different girls were actually giggling at me driving by, saying, nice shirt. And again, I was like, whatever, trying to brush it off, thinking that they were dissing me. Well, I think this is an important lesson. If you have that kind of like elevated sort of like low-level adrenal cortisol response that sort of kind of adds up into like a low-level social anxiety, which a lot of people have, basically to realize that this is completely in your imagination. It doesn't exist. So what I would like to suggest to you is actually having the opposite response. For example, let's say that a girl disses you. Rather than being offended or getting scared or trying to protect your self-image, actually taking it as she's engaging me. So say that a girl walks by and she sees me hitting on some other girl and she's like, ugh, you're like a player. My interpretation of that is she wants to meet me, as opposed to taking it as an offense, right? Another example would be like, say that a girl says, you know, you look like the guy from Silence of the Lambs. How about that? And me literally taking that as a joke, right? Like, yeah, you know, give you the duct tape flavored candy, baby. Or like, you know, something ridiculous, right? So something very offensive, actually, which she's saying, me literally just taking it as a joke. Now, here's what's funny. When you take something as a joke, what winds up happening is that the person realizes that you have, quote unquote, higher status than they do. At least that's typically how it can play out. Or maybe they'll push more, but eventually they'll realize that. And what's funny is they'll be, at least oftentimes, be like, huh, I was just joking. I was just kidding. They'll literally throw that at you because their RAS rationalizes that they're not being a mean person trying to get the better of you, but that they're actually just kidding with you.
You kind of look like the guy from Silence of the Lambs.
Well, that's funny because I killed like 18 times more people than the guy from Silence of the Lambs.
Ooh, that's kind of hot.
Really? Would you like to eat the duct tape flavored candy,
hot,
baby?
Sarah.
I know you fucking hate me, but it's a pleasure to meet you.
I don't hate you.
Owen.
I was just saying that because I was being retarded and
Okay.
trying to be funny.
So the main key is you have to take everything as a joke. Literally, just take it as a joke. Because if you take things personally and you assume the most negative, that's a huge problem, right? Think about when you're up on a girl. You know, you're talking to her and she says, you're not good enough. I only go home with hot guys. You're not tall enough. You're such a typical LA guy is when something, you know, some girls in New York will say to me, I'm not into you. And I'm like, no, it's all good. Don't worry, girl. It's all good. What do you like about that? What do you like about LA guys? You know, just like things like that, right? Or even just start laughing, like it's funny. Just start laughing and actually like point around at different guys and be like, well, how about this guy? Maybe he's more your speed. He's from the East Coast. How about this guy, right? Just like literally seeing the humor in it, okay? And so what I'm basically saying is that rather than having the opposite response, which is a response of assuming that people are saying negative things about you, just view any attention as positive. If somebody has something bad to say about you, just be happy like they're even checking you out at all. If someone disses you, just figure they wish they could be your friend, or maybe they're a little threatened by you and like a little funny remark would put them at ease. Whatever it is, right? But always assume the best. Make your interpretation channel that is good feedback, whatever it is. Learn to have the opposite of a cortisol response, which is a relaxation response. Okay, so get rid of that low-level fight or flight and bring in relaxation. And what you'll basically find is that from the woman's perspective, this indicates higher status. It indicates that to you, an insult is like a square peg going into a round hole. It's not gonna fit. You don't even get that because you don't get treated like that very often, so you don't even understand it. And because you're so high status, you're completely comfortable in your own skin. All right, does this make sense? Okay, well, I thought that made sense too, and hopefully the police liked it, and hopefully you liked it too. I'm gonna crack out of here. I'm actually shooting back into Los Angeles. I got a lot more videos coming, so I'll talk to you soon. Peace.